Chen the young of the east gate, Chen Feng the young of the east gate. Its leaves. Dusk is the period, the star is bright, the young of the east gate. Its leaves, lungs and lungs. Dusk is the period, the star is bright. Interpretation, sound zang, lung sound pei. Unk greater than, read as less than unk greater than the key to poetry meaning if it is not related to wild vine grass. The three parts of planning and little star are united, and it is impossible to understand this poem at all. Let's start with the story, and then these four poems prove it. It turned out that Yin Jifu often went on expeditions during the Pingchen and Song dynasties. One day Zhang knew that his army would pass through Chen City at night. She is waiting under the poplar tree at the east gate. Wait until the morning star comes out. But Yin Jifu only passed through Chencheng. After a short stay, she started again, which made her feel very sad. Therefore, Yin Jifu complained again. And we're going to explain the poem along the lines of the story. Explanation of words. One chapter will be written in ancient times Yingxi. The shape is close to because will be for. Aryan interpretation Yang Zhang Feian and said, Zhang, Da Yi. Zhu Kai Feng's Qi Tong said, period. Period. Synonymous with the period of 5 days in green picking. Star, morning star Ma Rukin said, brilliant, bright appearance. The meaning of the whole chapter is, the aspen of the east gate. Its leaves are fat. It was supposed to be the deadline of dusk. Why hasn't the morning star come out yet? Chapter 2. Xiao Ben article Yinwan, read unk greater than unk greater than. Shangman article issue, this poem its leaves, lungs and lungs. Pu, lung 3 words and sound synonymous with meaning. Lung should be the guise of fu. Guangya Shixen, Fu Fu, Mao Yi said in Qitong, Guangyun. Z, starlight is also used. Also known as less than unk greater than a Z, universal also Qitong said, the entire chapter is meant to be the poplar at the east gate. Its leaves are very lush. It was supposed to be the deadline of dusk. Why hasn't the morning star come out yet? Psalm contact. In the book of songs, every word in the east gate is the east gate of Chencheng, because Zhang lived there when she was in Chen state. So the east gate became the place where they fell in love. However, it is impossible for Dongmen alone to know the meaning of this poem. The meaning of poetry is known by the word star. Ma Rukin said in the biography of Mao's poems, volume 13, star, called the star of enlightenment, is also a big star. Xiaoya, there is enlightenment in the east, and Changjiang in the west. Biography, when the sun rises, it is said that the stars are enlightened. As soon as the day enters, it is said that the star is Changjiang, and the Jiang continues. Historical records Tianguan book, to white out of the east. In the near future, it will be a star, and in the far future, it will be a big hustle and bustle. It is the certificate of a star in Kimming, and the star is both a star in Kimming. Then it's the same as the plan article 3 stars in the sky. The times of Samsung in the corner and Samsung in the house coincide. 3 stars are the stars, that is, the morning stars. This makes the connection between Yang of the East Gate and plan. Then from the planning article, see this encounter. What is this encounter? Encounter and encounter of encounter, encounter, encounter in wild vine grass. It also makes the relationship between the 2 poems plan and wild vine grass. Little star article He Xiaoxing, Wei participates in Subaru, and Sangsing is the morning star. That is, 3 stars. So the little star article is also related to. The 3 poems of Yang of the East Gate, planning, and wild vine grass are connected to one. The following will combine these 4 poems to try to explain poem meaning correction. Maozu, Yang of the East Gate. When a marriage is lost, men and women violate it more, and they are welcomed by relatives. There are still women who are not available. Take it literally, because the ancients married in the dark. They thought of marriage from the dark. Then faint as the period, the star is bright, did not arrive in time. I think of it again. If the marriage is lost, welcome it in person. and there are still women who are not available. Jung Jian clearly added, when the gift of welcome is faint, the woman keeps his color and refuses to go. When the big star shines brightly, the collection biography says, this is also a meeting between men and women, but there are those who cannot make a contract. Therefore, it is interesting because of what it sees. Although it is closer to the meaning of the poem, it is still a literal conjecture. If it weren't for discovering the love story between Yin Jiafu and Zhang Xi, the meaning of the poem will never be known.